All right, welcome to your crew huddle. Oh my gosh, tonight is what, Tuesday? Hey, Katie, can I make you co-host to let people in just for the little bit? Okay. Today is Tuesday, March. Oh my gosh, it's March 16th, you guys. Auto ships have run. That's not what I was going to open up with, but auto ships have run. So we'll talk about that at the end. But I'm really, really excited to be with you guys tonight. We have a really special guest that I cannot wait for you guys to hear from. But before we jump into that, we have to recognize some very special people. We always recognize the rock stars of the week. So let's jump into our rock stars of the week. But real quick before that, if anybody was in Executive Academy, please put in the chat box how much you loved Executive Academy. You guys, that was, to me, like the most top-notch training that I have seen. Everything was just beautifully done. The slides, the transitions, the content. Please tell the girls how much you loved it if you were a part of that. If you are not a part of it, get your butt to Executive so you can get in there. And if you already are to Executive, make sure you just follow the prompts to get into Executive Academy at least once, because it is amazing. Okay, so let's talk about our rock stars of the week. Okay, let's start with customer volume. I love this one because you guys know we have an over 80% retention rate with our customers. We wouldn't be in business if it wasn't for our customers. So let's give a shout out to Dawn, I hope I say this right, Viquera. Oh my gosh, number 3 for $1,215, $1,215 or $215 in volume, you guys. That's huge. Dawn, I don't know you, but I'm going to give you a personal challenge to get that to 2,000. Up at 800, give yourself a raise. I know you can do it. If you can do 1,200, you can totally do that. Dr. Freddie's at 1,300, amazing. Again, Dr. Freddie, I challenge you too, you guys, give yourself a raise. That is amazing though. That is like, we always used to shoot for 1,000 plus, and you guys well above and beyond shot over that. And then Mr. and Mrs. Bill, I was gonna say Mr. and Mrs. Nikki Black, Mr. and Mrs. Bill Black, the Blacks, 1972. I know y'all are gonna wrap up 2,000 plus on that one. So congratulations, you guys. Amazing job. Now let's talk about our top ambassador recruiters. So coming in at number 3, Mr. Johnny May, amazing job. And tied with Laura Lee Davis. Awesome job, you guys, bringing in 3. And then number 1, this blows me away because you guys, this is for 1 week, I believe. Maybe Hannah or B or Katie can correct me on this. Maybe this is up until the 15th or the 12th. I don't know. But regardless, it's impressive. 7 new BAs Alyssa has personally brought on. So amazing job, Alyssa. I just freaking love that. And then our top PC go-getters. We've got Greg Robson, tied with Heidi Hammond, tied with Jonathan Bowden, tied with Sharon Gagged. I'm so sorry, Gagney, maybe Gagney. Amazing job, you guys. And then of course, our number 1 is Miss Haley Watkins, coming in with 3 new PCs so far. So I'm so proud of you guys. You guys are obviously in the trenches. You're obviously doing the work. You're obviously out there seeing the results of seeds that you've planted. So amazing job. Okay, so real quick, I have to introduce our guest speaker tonight, you guys. This is so exciting to have Miss Abbi on with us. She is joining you guys all the way from Australia. What time is it? She'll have to tell you what time it is. Abbi and I were trying to figure out time zones, and guess what happened in between scheduling her and tonight? Anybody know? Time change. So I was proud of her though. She's freaking on it. She was on it. So you guys, Abbi is a wife and a mama of 3 kiddos. She's been in the industry, gosh, for 10 years in July. It'll be 10 years. And get this, with only 1 other company. I love that. It gives me goosebumps. That is amazing, you guys. She's also a certified and I laughed when she gave me the description of this: certified neural linguistics practitioner. Wow. That just basically means she loves everything that has to do with the mindset. So I am so excited. She loves the beach. She loves good food. She's a huge cheerleader for empowering women to just do extraordinary things. She also loves good wine. I don't know if anybody else wants to be Abby's best friend right about now. And she's been with Q for over a year, and she's our gold ambassador. So without further ado, I want to bring on Miss Abbi, joining us from Australia. I believe it's very early in the morning for her. So Abbi, take it away.
Oh, yay. Hello. I love the music dance party because that's where my jam. We do that as well. And I was like, oh, I'm home. This is awesome. So g'day from WA. the accent, we don't really actually say g'day, but that's kind of the thing in Australia, right? So yeah, this is the Australian accent, and I love connecting with my US family. What I love about this, we're sidelines. We're not even part of the same team. But this is the beauty of being part of the Q family, is that we learn from each other, sidelines, up lines, down lines, wherever lines. We're here to learn and kind of feed off each other's energy, which is really exciting. So Jen, a massive thank you, and your leaders. I'm really nervous. I'm looking at the people in here going, oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. We really look up to you guys, and I feel really blessed and honored to be asked to kind of share my story with you guys and hopefully give some sort of value. So appreciate being asked to be on here. So yeah, I thought I would share a little bit of my story. You know, being 10 years, as Jen said, in the industry, gosh, I've been through the roller coaster ride. It's been a roller coaster, and I'll share a bit of that, and also the lessons learned. I think that's a big thing. If we don't learn the lessons and the blessings, then we're not growing, and if we're not growing, we're dying. So if I can kind of impart some value in there, I hope you can walk away with something tonight. So it is 8:30. I've just done the school run, so it's a bit manic over here. I did have it at 9:30, as Jen said, and then it's 8:30, but it's perfect time. I love kind of getting into things straight away. So a bit about me. As Jen said, I'm a mama of 3. I've got 3 beautiful kids. I joined this industry with a toddler and a baby on my hip. I had a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old. And at the time when I looked at this industry, I'd actually been in the health and wellness arena before that, in the chiropractic industry. And for me, I never knew anything about network marketing, like nothing. I just thought it was a pyramid. I thought you have to sell to friends and family, and it always kind of put me off. Until one day, a girlfriend invited me to an event, and I always say, this was the first lesson always learned from myself, is never judge, right, what you can have in front of you. Because I went to this event with 2 other people, right? So the person that was running the event could have easily cancelled, because this girl, which is one of my girlfriends, she invited like 20 people to the event. Everyone cancelled except for 2 people. And one of those people was me. And I actually only wanted to go because I was sick of breastfeeding. And I was like, you know what? I just need some me time. I'm like, all these kids are on me all the time, and I just need to get out. That was kind of the reason why I went to the event. Little did I know that day really just changed my life. And it's not about quantity, it's about quality. If I didn't show up that night, my life wouldn't have changed, but hundreds of lives wouldn't have changed from that moment. And so I never judge that. I always say, just turn up no matter what, right? No matter what, even if it's for 2 people. Because what I saw that night was, for me, an industry that could give me hope. And the reason why is because we were financially in an awful position. We'd literally lost everything. We'd gone down to 1 income. We'd sold a house that we bought. And I, in my head, was like, this is Groundhog Day. I don't know how I will ever be able to contribute, because I've only known to work 9 to 5. And how do I do that with children? I was like, I don't get this. How do I balance being a mama and actually trying to earn an income? So when I saw an opportunity that was like, you get to work your own hours, you get to be able to have this flexibility, everything was like a tick, tick, tick for me. And I just was like, you know what? I'm that personality where if you can teach me something, then I'm willing to learn. So teach me the ways. And so I was fortunate enough to step into this industry. Within 4 years of the company I was with, I got to the top position of the company. And my passion, and as Jen said, had really got defined around helping women in the same situation as me. Other women that really have something to give, have a voice, have a gift, and it's just been kind of squashed down because they don't know how to be able to let that out. And so when I saw an opportunity to really raise up mamas, raise up women, I thought this is not just a business. This is so much more. We can make a big impact. So 4 years in, top position of the company, loving it. And, you know, learned a lot of lessons on the way, obviously the roller coaster ride. And I put on that loyalty hat for 8.5 years with the company that I was with, right? 8.5 years. I love the culture. I love the products. I loved everything about it. But probably the last 2 years was quite defining for me. So as I always say, this business is personal development disguised as a business, right? If you are finding that you are stuck, I hate using that word, but we get there, right? We find a bit stuck or we're challenged by something. Often what the go-to is blaming our team, right? Who's not doing anything? Or why is it this leg 3? Come on, we need some love in there. Like we're kind of like, what's happening with everyone in our team? Why isn't anyone working? We've got, you know, all the action. And that was me for a little while. And I got to a bit of a rock bottom personally in that journey to go, why am I not inspiring anymore? Like, why isn't anyone doing anything? Like everything just plateaued. My team weren't winning anymore. And it was someone that said something to me that was really interesting. And it was an actual thing. And I don't know if anyone has ever felt this, where you've missed out on like an incentive. Has anyone missed out on an incentive before where you're like, oh my gosh, I really want to run for that. I need to get to this rank. And you're running. And you realize a couple of weeks out, it's just not going to happen. Like, I don't know whether I just need to curl up and cry and rock myself, you know, or what is it? Like, I've worked really hard, but I'm just not going to get there. And that happened to me. Felt like I was working really hard, and I missed out on one of these prestigious like events that all the top leaders go to. And that was soul crushing, right? Soul crushing. And someone once said to me, don't complain. This is a harsh thing, right? Don't complain about the results you didn't get for the work you didn't do. And I was like, whoa, okay, that's a bit of a reality moment, because I thought I was working really hard, but in reality, I kind of wasn't. I was managing. I was like managing my team, and I wasn't in phase 1. I wasn't doing the do that as a leader I should be. So that was a real reality check. When you miss out on something, you got to kind of reflect in and go, okay, I can't blame everyone. It's me. It's me. I've got to go to work. And so that actual journey kind of spun into mindset for me, because one of the things that I really realized in this industry is that we are all given the same opportunities, right? We all are part of the same company, whether I'm in Australia, US, we all have the same products. We all have the same comp plan. So what fascinated me is that why are some people successful and some people don't even get started? Like some people just don't even do anything. And then there's ones that are just like this achievement. And that fascinated me. And what I realized is it all came down to mindset. It all was about this. It's actually got nothing to do with what we've got in front of us, because we've all got the same thing. Like, so that means that we all should have success, but that's not the case. So I got really clear, and that's why I ended up becoming an NLP coach, because I was like, I've got to understand this. I've got to understand how the brain works. How does the mindset work? How is it that someone, you know, that has the same thing can do so much better than what I can, right? So I started to understand that and go to work on my own mindset. And there's a few things I'll kind of share along the way of what that meant for me. One of the things that I really realized is that, you know, I can be really clear of my why, right? And that's what we kind of get you guys always to, when you come into this, be strong of your why. I call it my stake in the ground rather than my why, because the stake in the ground means that no matter what, like you can be, like we call it the farm, like you're the farmer, right? So you're the farmer, but you got to have that rake and it's got to be stuck in strong, right? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be stormy weather that comes. You're going to be rocked. You're going to be trying to be knocked. And unless you've got a strong foundation, a strong why, then, you know, it's quite easy to say, well, this is too hard. Like, I can't do this. This is too hard. That person's getting all these results. I'm not. And you go into that blame, shame, justification. So your why is really strong, but there's another level to a why. And this is something that became really important to me, especially coming into Q. What I realized is you can have a strong why, but your values in your why is very, very important as well. What I absolutely love about Q is their 5 Fs, like your values. That, I mean, most of you would probably fit into those categories. If I was to say, tell me your top 5 values in your life, I'm sure it's going to be in those categories of family, faith, fitness, friends, finances. It will fit in there. But I would get you to do something a little bit deeper. And I've done this with some of my team, and it's called, rather than even a why or a vision board, it's actually called a life script. Has anyone heard of a life script before? No? Okay. So it's a little exercise. I'll give you some homework to do with this if you like, because it's actually quite fun, and it's actually been a game changer for me with my mindset and really getting real of my values and why I do what I do. So if, for instance, if your family is a high value for you, right? Family. So if you're someone that really honors that and that is number one, what does actually that look like for you though? Like, if family's a value, does that mean that every day you need to have breakfast together? Does that mean that every day as a family that you sit down for dinner and you share some stories about your day? Like, get clear of what the value of that family is for you. What is your ideal day with your family? Okay, so do that with every single part of that. So your faith, for example, if faith is a high value for you, like, what do you have to do? What is something every single day that encourages you to be in your faith? That is that prayer every day? Is that meditation? Is that putting out your gratitude and writing that down every day? Okay, so not only just putting down faith is a value, go deeper. Because when you go deeper, you realize that you're designing your ideal day. And when you get to design your ideal day, you're writing the script of your life. Now, I'd even go deeper than this. If you want to kind of change your mindset and live in your values, I can tell you now, when I am feeling stuck, right? So if right now I'm feeling challenged in my business, and some of you might be feeling like that right now, I can guarantee you've lost some of your daily values. You might not be doing the things that light you up in the day. Now, when you're living in your values and when you're living in that mindset of I'm loving life, like I'm enjoying this, you're going to attract some amazing people into your life, right? When you are attractive, you're going to attract people that are amazing. So if you're feeling that, just like, oh, I don't know, I'm just feeling not in a funk. How many people have been in a funk? I've been in a funk lots of times. When I'm in a funk, I actually reassess and go, okay, what am I missing? Where in my values am I not putting that number one? And when I start doing, for me, it's normally fitness, okay? Let's be real. Like, if you are actually, if that's a value for you, I know for me, when I'm in a funk, that actually has to do with my mindset. So I have to go back into routine. I do F45 at 5:30 in the morning. And when this week, I'm good because I'm doing it. But I know 2 weeks ago when life was crazy, I was in a bit of a funk because I wasn't living in my values. So how you can take this further, which changed the game for me, is writing what that looks like down. So in the morning, if you need a cuddle and kiss with your husband or wife, and that's a real big value for you in the morning before you get up and say, I love you, and give them a kiss, write that down. In the morning when I get up, this is what I love to do. This is my top value. In the morning, I love to have music on, right? Write down what that day looks like, but then go a little bit deeper. Once you've written what that ideal day is with those values in it, what you want to do is record your voice talking through your ideal day. So, you know, it might go in, I wake up feeling refreshed after a beautiful sleep. I roll over, I kiss my husband, good morning. I get up with just with this music playing. That's my faith. I get to sing and worship with my kids in the morning and have breakfast. Like, what does that look like for you? Write it down. Now, guys, I'm not saying that every day is perfect, okay? But what this will do, when you record it with your own voice, you can do a little recording in your own voice, telling you your ideal day. And guess what? If you play that in your headphones every morning, like even before you kind of do anything, if you find that meditation for you is really awesome first thing in the morning, I would actually don't even look at your phone and play your life script. Because what this business to me is all about is the person that you want to become. Right? We sometimes get really hung up on the next rank and what does that look like and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But really, when we look at the whole of this journey, it's actually the person that you are becoming. Now, when you do this life script, what it's going to do is pull you into the vision. Now, it might not be perfect right now. Like, you might not have that perfect scenario. You might not have, the breakfast with the kids in the morning. You might not be going for a walk in the morning. But if that's your values, I can tell you what, if you start telling yourself that's what your day is, you're going to start making that happen. You can even say, I'm a gold ambassador in this business. I have like all these calls. I have back-to-back meetings with my potentials this morning. I have an hour where I'm doing an hour, power of hour. And you're visualizing your day. You will start stepping into that day, right? So that is just something that's really worked for me. That's held me in terms of a vision. That's pulled me into a vision. A couple of things that I will share with you is when on this journey, right, it's not been an easy journey. Like I gave up, coming into Q was a massive decision for me. Like just over a year ago, I gave up a 6-figure income, right? So I'd worked 8.5 years at the top level of my company, but I plateaued because what I realized when I started to go to work on myself, there's one thing I would always say to my team was never, ever quit on a bad day. Never quit on a bad day. And I had many bad days with my last company. We all do. But there was one thing I always said is I will never give up or quit when it was bad, because I know in those moments there's the biggest growth. But I came to the point when I was like, okay, I think I'm going to quit on a good day. And that was where I was at with the company I was with. I felt that I'd outgrown. I felt that I needed a new challenge. And so when Q was presented to me by Marielle through just, I feel, divine intervention, it truly was. Like that doesn't normally happen through a Facebook group. I knew that this was different. And when I saw the people, the comp plan, what I saw, the vision for what we could do here as pioneering a country, like it ticked a lot of boxes, right? It ticked a lot of boxes for me. So stepping into this saying, yes, I gave up a lot, but I realized that this was going to be the next chapter that I wanted to write. Now, everything was great, right? We had hemp here in Australia. I hit bronze in my first month. I think I hit silver in my second month. And then in that time, I was like getting to gold, even planned out ruby. Like it was all happening. And literally, I think it was about 4 or 5 months afterwards, hemp went, right? Hemp went. And we were all curled up in a ball crying. Because it taught, this is why I want to share this. It taught me such amazing lessons, right? I'm grateful for this lesson because I attracted all these people because of hemp, and we had all this team because it was all hemp, hemp, hemp. When it went away, I was like, what did I build? Because literally within a month, 50% of my business went away. And I was like, what do I have now? Like, this is crazy. So what I want to say, and then it's crazy because I was thinking about it today because that was a year ago this month. So a year ago this month, at the beginning of the month, hemp went, and at the end of the month, COVID came in. So it was a double whammy in 1 month. And I'm like, international borders closed. Marielle came in February, thank goodness, with Jake, and we had a great time. But the following month, everything changed. And at that point, I can tell you now, I had to dig really, really deep. I had to dig deep, because when 50% of your business goes, you got to go, I'm either going to drown in this, or I've got to step up and pivot like I've never before. And, you know, I'm, you know, hand like on heart for me, for Jake, and the way that he coached and helped me through that time. You know, that was unbelievable. But what I had to learn was, there's so many lessons in there that I had to learn, right? Because I knew we could keep doing this, but we had to rebuild. And that's been this last 12 months. We've been in complete rebuild phase. What I absolutely love is, you know, we had to build a business. Like if we look at it, we probably have half the products really that most countries have. But in there, I had to dig so deep that I ended up getting to gold within this period. Because what it showed me is the ones that wanted it. And I had to go to work with the ones with the hands up. I always say, you know, you got to look in your team, who's got their hands up. Don't worry with the ones that aren't. We can't convince everyone, right? And we tried every different angle. And I realized, Abby, there's going to be ones that are going to have their hands up, and you've got to just run with that. It's new blood. It's a new team. That's what we got to do. And, you know, I wanted to share this before I finish up. Gosh, but look at the time. I was like, oh my goodness, I've got so much to share, but I have to tone it down. You know, some of the lessons that I learned as well is that obviously we talk about, you know, we've done a 90-day game plan in these last couple of months. And this again is, if you want to see true colors of your team, do a 90-day game plan. Because when in the 90-day game plan, right, we've had some amazing action. We started with 100 in the first 30 days. After 30 days, I think we dropped to about 80. And then this next, I think we're around 60. I think we'll end up about 40. It's quite normal, right? But what I've learned, and something that I think this is really important to know, sometimes we can do the action. We can be go, go, go. We can do our DMO. We can do our power hours. We can be in action. But if you are feeling, and I was sharing this with Shannon as well, to try and get to the bottom of why people feel like you can be in action all the time, but then you're going, why aren't getting the results? Like, why aren't I getting the turnover? Why aren't I getting the conversion? And often it comes down to your own belief. Your red light story. Has everyone heard about your red light story? Your red light story will come up when you go into action. And this was really interesting. I actually had a call with a newbie yesterday. She's in New Zealand. And this really showed me something of everyone has a belief of some sort. You have a story about something. It will come up at some point in your business, right? But don't shut it under the carpet. Really deal with that, because that's where you're going to have the biggest growth, when you deal with a red light story. So to give you an example of what that looks like, we did a launch call with a new girl in New Zealand yesterday. And I was talking about her list. And I said, okay, tell me a little bit about your Fab Five. Like, who are these people? Like, who have you written down? And we're kind of talking. And she was like, and this was what she said to me, these are the 5 people that I think will afford the products. And I was like, okay. So I turned around and I said to her, can you please, I'd love to know, what's your story around money? And she was a bit like, well, and I said, well, because it's really interesting that you've put a perception out there, or an expectation that these people can afford it, but all these other people can't afford the products, right? And I was like, whoa, hang on a second. If we go into this business having a story around who can and can't afford it, you're going to miss out on a lot of people that need this. So let's talk about your story around money first before we move on. Because I know that, and we talked about it, and she said, she goes, I think the products are expensive. I said, okay, let's work through that. And value is a big thing. So I gave her this scenario, and something that always stick with me. I always say, you know, you can never, ever put on someone else's what they value onto you. Like, you can't judge that. I said, you know, give you an example. If you went into a supermarket and you saw two parts of where you could buy apples, right? So you had a whole lot of apples over here for $1 and one over here for $2, but you can't see the apples. So you go over to the cheapest one. Who doesn't do that? Like, everyone wants a bargain, right? So you go over to the cheapest one first and you look at there and you go, the $1 apples. Look down and they are moldy, they are disgusting, and you would not even pick one up. And then you look at the $2 apples and they're organic and they're crunchy and yummy and they're just juicy. And you look at it and you're going, okay, which one am I going to buy? I'm definitely going to buy the $2 one. That's no value there. So I said to her, you don't know someone's story, right? You don't know what they will value. I will value those apples because they're amazing. Like, if this product can change someone's life, they will value that no matter what. We can't judge that. So we got deep of, you will have a story in this that will be a red light story for you, whether that's money, whether that's success, whether that is whatever, failure, it will be a red light story. But what I would say is always work on the mindset around that, because that's the only thing that's going to propel you forward in terms of breaking through those barriers. So I think I might kind of, I was like, oh, I went on a roll. I actually was going to talk about something else and it just kind of went. I hope that's okay, Jen.
Oh my gosh, Abby, this has been like, I know everyone agrees with me. I've literally, you should see my notes. They're not organized at all. I'm writing all these like Katie right there, like writing all these. We need round 2. We need episode 2 with Abby. Do you guys agree? This was so needed. And I love your energy. I love your passion. I love your spirit. Like, that was amazing. And the fact that it's 8:30 in the morning and you have makeup on.
I thought I'd better.
More impressive. So I'm so grateful that you came on tonight. I was going to try to point out one thing. I can't even point out one thing. Like, there's so many things you said tonight. Of course, the Apple thing. But this life script thing is life-changing. And I know, what would you say, and I know we all got to get on to other Zooms, but what would you say to someone that says, ooh, I don't like the sound of my voice? I know someone's thinking it, right? What would you say to that, to overcome that little obstacle that we make big?
Well, first of all, I would say there's a red light story there that you don't like your voice. So you might need to dig a little deeper on that, of why. Like, why would you not like your own voice? Like, you've got a voice that people need to hear. And so it will be challenging, right? It will be challenging for you to do that, but it will be powerful. It will be powerful for you to hear it. I wouldn't use anyone else's voice. This is your story. So I would get over it, is all I would say. But, you know, it will be important for you to do it for yourself. It's amazing when you do listen back, I know you kind of cringe. And I do that too all the time with Zooms. But then it will be something that you're like, this is my story, because you are actually sharing your own journey every day to yourself. You know, if you don't love yourself, then how do you love everyone else?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, Abby, thank you so much. I appreciate you. We will be inviting you on again, I promise. We'll trade. We'll all trade. But I really appreciate it, hun. That was gold. Everything was just gold. I'm so glad we have it recorded. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So you guys, today is the 16th. That means all of our auto ships have run. And so I just really want you to take a good look at where you're at with your business right now. Look at your snapshot, like wherever you're at today. Of course, we're getting into weekly rhythms, right? But really wherever you're at today is where you will end this Friday, where you will end March. So really open your eyes and say, okay, what can we do now? And this is the actual snapshot of where everything is at. Also, congratulations to everyone that's heading over to Silver Summit this weekend. Going to be an amazing weekend up at the lodge. So congratulations to all of you guys. Remember, we have 2 QIQs happening on Thursday, one at 5 Pacific time and one at 7 Pacific time. So you guys, awesome job showing up for your job, showing up for your business. And again, Abby, thank you so much. You just spoke to all of our hearts, and I have no doubt we're all going to take it. And life script, Anybody that's listening to this and you're like, yes, I'm going to do that, please communicate in your support thread. You don't have to send your life script to your support thread, but definitely communicate in your support thread that you are working on that so that we can help hold you accountable to that. We all need each other. It takes a village, right? So let us walk through that process with you guys. So have an amazing evening. And thanks again, Abby. We so appreciate it. And congratulations to all the weekly rock stars, you guys. Bye-bye.